Welcome back to another episode of Black Men on Vent, where two Aquarian dads talk feelings, fatherhood, and all the wild thoughts we were never taught to say out loud. I'm your host, Jay Red.
I'm your other host, Jerron. Jay, I got a question for you, bro. I'm gonna just jump right into it. You ever get blocked by somebody you was rooting for? Like they physically blocked you, but you
Hey,
was
low
like, you
key,
want to see them win.
low key, yeah, man, that happened, but like not on your level.
No, see, it happened to me. See, what people don't understand is that when you're really rooting for somebody and you feel like you supporting them, right? And then you go check the status of one of their updates, and all you get is a big sign that just says that you've been blocked, right? So that's going to take us into today's episode, y'all. Today's episode is titled Mr. Be Nasty. And yes, it's about me getting blocked by adult content icon Miss B Nasty herself, but it's also about ego, fantasy, respect, and I think how men handle rejection, even when it's online. So, how you want to start this off, bro? What you want to know? Because you've been asking me this for like a minute. You've been really wanting details, and I feel like I've been kind of like shunning y'all away and not really giving y'all the context of like what actually happened.
So, Mr. B Nasty, because you be nasty. We want to get into what happened. What did you say for OnlyFans model Miss B Nasty, who be nasty to block you? What happened? What day was it? What time was it? Give us the context. Give us the backstory. Like we need to know what happened. What did you say for her to be like, yo, this man is out. Like he's done. I don't want his support. I don't care if he sees me win. I want like he's gone. Like blocked. Like what happened?
Man, listen, I want to say it was like a Tuesday, which is crazy that I remember that because it's been a while, bro. Remember, this happened years ago, bro. I've been blocked for years. Just saying that hurts, bro. Like Miss B Nasty has me blocked. I've been blocked for years, fam. I think it was a Tuesday though, man, and I don't know what I was on. I don't know really what my brain was doing. Like I was scrolling through the feed. That's all I remember is that I was on Twitter and one of the videos popped up and I was like, oh, she active today. And I don't know, man. The video just got me excited, bro. I don't know why, man. Like my dumb self, bro, just like, you should comment. And I was like, bet. I hit reply to the video, fam, like to the video. And I just remember, bro, I can't tell you like verbatim from start to finish what was really said. I can tell you, I do remember mentioning like some type of candy, bro, and eating it out of places that I really shouldn't be saying on the pod right now.
Hey,
And it was a wild moment, fam. It was not my best work. It was funny in the moment, fam, but just over the course of time, I was like, man, I was wilding, bro. What was going through my head, man? And then I just remember seeing that when her response came in and I'm thinking like, oh, she said something back. Maybe she liked it and said something like freaky. It's like, oh, hell, like, yeah. And I opened it up and it was like, Miss B Nasty has blocked you. And man, I just remember, bro, like, as messed up as this sounds, fam. You ever see those movies where like the person know they finna die, everything is like slowing down, like everything around them is just moving slow. That's how I felt, bro. I was just like everything slowed down. I'm just looking at my phone, like for real, like I'm blocked.
damn, light flash before your
Everything
eyes.
flashed before my eyes, bro. All them videos, her in the passenger seat in the car wash. It's like it's like I'm cut off. You cut me off,
Hey, yo, did you pull like a episode 3 Revenge of the Sith? You fell on your knees like Vader?
bruh.
No. You lost Padme? That's how you was feeling? You lost your
Bro,
Padme, bro?
getting blocked by Miss B Nasty, I feel like was the start of my like it was my villain origin story, bro. Like I felt like Anakin, bro, just going into that
Bro was on
like
demon time.
like oh, this what we doing. Yeah, man, it was a wild time though, bro. I've moved past it, obviously. I've healed. Right. I've healed from being blocked, but every now and then when
Now
I'm
we can joke
scrolling
about
through,
it.
talk to my therapist pissed about it. You know what? I feel like I'm healed. I don't really need to see her ex anymore. You know what? I think I'm good.
How does that make you feel?
I'm sitting in the chair crying, like, you know what? It would be nice if she'll block me. Nah, man, that was a wild time, bro. That was a really, really, really wild time. And just over the past few years, bro, like I really reflected on like that moment because a lot of things happen, bro. Like when you're wilding
Hmm.
out and crashing out in moments like that, bro, like it's funny because like I remember like sending y'all the screenshot of like me actually being blocked and y'all was on my neck for days about that, bro. But a lot of growth happened out of that too, man. I really have to say, like, it really made me sit back and assess, like, man, like, I really can't be wilding like this online, bro. Like online footprints are like a real thing, bro. Like, who knows,
Hmm.
like, how far you can go back and find some stuff. Like, one of our listeners might, like, you know what? Let me go back and see if I can find that tweet. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it really made me sit back and think, like, when you're in this kind of stage of growth and then you start reflecting on like past behavior and you start asking yourself that question, like, dang, like, I was really wilding. And then it pushed me to also think like, what happens when the image like you've built of someone, or even yourself gets popped, right? Like how I
Hmm.
thought about myself in that specific time was like thinking that I was the man, like just talking reckless and wilding out and, just thinking that I could get away with just loosely saying all this crazy stuff, bro. And I feel like that balloon pop from her, bro. Like that was the original balloon pop. Was the original balloon
Yeah.
pop. Miss B Nasty blocking me is the original popping the balloon, bro. But it really made me think, man, like, wow, bro, like I really gotta mind like my behavior, especially when like I transitioned into like just fatherhood, having, a daughter, bro. It really made me sit back. It was like, man, like how would I explain this to my daughter if this were to ever come across like her timeline when she's older and whatever social media looks like when she's older? But like, how, as her dad, bro, like, how could I look my daughter in the face and explain like that? Like, how do I make that make sense?
Yeah. Pretty tough, man. And then it's like too, you have what you have a woman in your life now that she's gonna listen to this podcast and be like, that's crazy.
It's
You
content, babe.
got sisters, you got a mom, hey, it's for the
Let's put that
content.
disclaimer right
Allegedly he was
there,
blocked.
babe. It's just content. Now we've already talked about it, bro. My girl actually made me tell her the full story. Like she really made me sit up in bed. She was like, "Nah, walk me through this shit from start to finish." And I had to go through the whole thing
So
with her,
what kind of candy was it? Was it Twizzlers, M&Ms, Skittles? Like what was the candy?
bro.
Snickers? He was nasty,
Bro,
huh?
it was definitely M&M's, bro. It was definitely
It was some
M&M's.
peanut M&Ms?
I don't remember, bro. I really don't remember. I just know M&M's, bro. And I just remember M&M's and some other stuff was said, bro. And I really don't feel like the M portion would have been like what got me blocked, bro. It was probably like it was probably the ending of what I said, bro. And it's not something I really want to say on the pie right now, bro. That's some deep, deep, like, bro, like I was wildin', bro, to just think that I could get that shit off. And like she was gonna just respond and it was gonna be cool. Nah, fam, you blocked, bro. You blocked. But yeah,
He
man.
was like, this is a freaky frog.
Bro, man, it was just a period of reflection, bro, is really all it was. Like and I also felt like it was the block herd around the group chat. Like I said, like y'all did not let up on me, bro. Like and I remember like our let me put this disclaimer there, man. Like our old group chat, like that's the kind of stuff like the FBI kicking your door for, bro. Our old group chat was insane.
Allegedly.
Allegedly insane.
Allegedly.
Like it makes me think about like all the other wild shit that we used to get off and how that topped everything. Like that was like the very, very top. Like bro, you got blocked by Miss B
Yeah, that was
Nasty.
crazy.
Out of all the wild shit I've ever said and done in that group chat, bro, made it up the ranks getting blocked by Miss B Nasty, bro. Like that was like It's like, damn, like, and I remember, bro, y'all were still like going to her page and like telling me what was happening, like on the page. It's like, because you knew I
Allegedly.
couldn't go, allegedly. Like, y'all are letting me know, like, yo, so and so, allegedly, she over here doing this now, bro. Like, just making me feel bad, bro. I'm like, dang, I was wilding, man. I should have never said that shit, bro. But it was
Hey
good times,
man.
bro. Good times, good times.
You threw us for a loop for sure. I was like, what did he say? And then you said whatever you said. I was like, nah, that can't be it. It's like, nah, ain't no way.
It felt it, bro. It
Nah.
sounded so simple. Like to me in the moment, I didn't think it was that bad, right? I didn't think it was that bad. But then the reality of it is like, bro, she perceived that shit and like, it's like, hell nah. Like you ain't getting this off on my page, like block. And that shit came quick, like seconds, which means she was actively on her shit. For her to block me within, bro, I'm telling you, it
Yeah.
was less than 10 seconds, bro. I was blocked. Like that's how quick that
Mm.
shit happened. But on
It's funny because
another,
it's like,
yeah, go
go ahead.
ahead. No, 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 you good, bro. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was gonna say like, yeah, you definitely weren't thinking. You was feeling yourself a little too much. But it's like at the end of the day, she is an actual person. You
Right.
don't know what she was going through on the day, and then it's at the same time you gotta come with a certain level of respect. And I think that's what gets lost in like nowadays where men they see these women that decide to do OnlyFans or they post a little bit more revealing photos and they think, oh, I can just say what I want, I can disrespect her because she's doing this for work or she's posting these photos. But it's like, nah, bro, like that's still somebody's sister, somebody's mom, somebody's cousin, granddaughter, whatever the case is. You still got to come correct. Like, they're just trying to
Facts.
get to the bag, like everybody trying to get to the bag, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Miss
you
B
gonna get in his
Nasty,
face for
I'm
grapes,
absolutely
apples.
sorry. I'm take this moment. I'm looking in the camera, Miss B Nasty. I'm really sorry. Like my actions were unnecessary, uncalled for. It was stupid. I was younger. I'm much older now. Had time to reflect. So on on just behalf of my dumb self from years ago, I want to apologize. Do some mature shit. But
Please take me off the block list.
please, not for real, please.
Hey, we gotta
um,
play that Durkio block list.
Imagine, fam. But I want to ask you something, man. Like
Mm,
toxic masculinity and ego, like how we react to being like dismissed or denied access to something. Like, why do you feel like our first reaction is to resort to, oh, fuck you then, or you just this, or you just this? Why? And it seems like I would say, I mean, it's all men, but like in the space that we're
mm,
in, we obviously see that, you know, it's predominantly like a lot of black men. Like, is
yeah.
how did this become a thing? Like, where do you think this is rooted in? Like, how would something like this come about, and where was it created? Like, how do you think this started? This toxic masculinity and ego.
I know a big part of it is pride. And then like for our generations and the generation before, it's probably like a lot of the music, the media, just they seeing how they were objectifying women and BET Uncut and all this stuff and the video vixens and listening to music and they thinking, oh, this is how you talk to women, this is how you get a woman. You disrespect them, you call them by their name. Oh, if she rejecting you, like she gotta be tripping. Like my pride, my ego is bigger than that, and I gotta disrespect. But like I said, it's like, bro, that's somebody's sister, somebody's daughter,
Yeah,
somebody's granddaughter, somebody's cousin. Like, come on, man. If someone was doing that to your family member, you gonna turn up. So why would you go out and do that? Like I think that's the disconnect a lot of times that people don't think about. Like, all right, like if someone came to me like, oh, like my sister, cousin, whoever came like, oh, this guy disrespected me, and then it's like, oh, I'm gonna turn up. But then you go on out and you disrespecting women and treating them like second class citizens or whatever the case is. It's like, come on, dog. Like, luckily for myself, like I was raised by like a lot of like strong women and a lot of cousins, aunts, sisters, and stuff like that. Where it's like I was taught how to treat women, how to talk to women. Even my dad, like he would be like, "Hey, you don't do this, you don't do that." You talk to them a certain way. It's like, so I for me, it's like I'm not about to disrespect you. If you don't talk to me, you don't talk to me. Like it is what it is. But I feel like a lot of men should move like that too. It's like, bro, she's not
I agree.
entitled to talk to you, dog. Like, like you could be weird or something, bro. Like, and you do be weird, bro. Like, it's funny because like if you flip the script and you like just trying to mind your business, and then like this weird girl or whatever come talking to you, you're gonna feel a certain way. Like, oh,
Yeah,
why
like
are you
get away from
talking to
me.
me? Like, get away from me, bro. Like, yeah. But people don't think like that. They, everything's personal. Everyone just these men take things personal, and it's like, hey, one, maybe you ugly, like maybe you don't look good, bro. Sorry, but two, it's
Listen,
like
shout
also
out to
you don't know what she's
all
going throughout the
women.
day.
Y'all
Like
are
she could be having a
all
bad day.
beautiful, right? Y'all are all beautiful in
Oh,
your
I was talking
own
about the men
right.
being ugly, bro.
Oh, well then,
I was talking about the men being ugly, bro. Yeah. Not the women. I wouldn't do that. But nah, like bro, walking up looking like Kermit the Frog, and then getting
man,
mad that
come
he's
on.
being dismissed, and it's like, hey, brother, like, come on, man, like, what they say, stay in your lane. Yeah, there's too much dip in your chip, dog. You know what I'm saying?
For me, honestly, like I look at it from a few different sides, right? Like one
Mm,
thing, let's talk about like, okay, how men perceive fantasy, right? And I feel like the women who are really out here like doing their thing, working, going to school, getting their degrees, raising children, that are really looking for good men, but they end up in these relationships with men who are emotionally unavailable. And I feel like that drives from a little bit of ego because we've spent so much of our day online scrolling and scrolling, and all we're seeing is
mm,
thongs and ass and all this other stuff. So we're forming our perception of what we feel like all women should be like. And then I think that starts to reflect in the relationship where we notice that our lady may not be fulfilling this specific thing that I see like these four girls doing online. So I'm gonna start fantasizing about that. And then I'm gonna show up in my relationship and I can't even pay attention or listen to my girl because I'm so caught up in all the shit that I'm scrolling through on Instagram. Like even myself, bro, like, and I'll just like really kind of vent for a moment and be honest about it, bro. Like there are past relationships, bro, like where I can really say like I felt myself being that way, like being so caught up
mm,
in what was going on social media. It was really taking away the emotional availability that I was responsible for giving my spouse at that specific time. Like I was giving all of
yeah.
my attention to the fantasies of online and then looking at her sideways because I felt like she wasn't living up to what I was seeing online. Right. And that was something that I really had to go to therapy and like grow out of. Like, oh, this isn't really cool. Like, this shit online will change you, bro. Like if you really allow it to consume you, like it can change you. And then you realize
Mm-hmm.
like, 2 years later, like you looking back at your relationship, like, dang, like this is how I've been showing up, like this, due to what I'm seeing
Mm-hmm.
online and thinking that's what love is, or that's a real relationship, or that's what a real woman would be doing if she loved her man, right? And it really took some like kind of like self isolation, I would say, like trying to remove certain things from like my algorithm so I didn't see it a lot. But and that shit took time, bro. Like really kind of getting out of that mindset and then learning to put all of my attention on the relationship and what I was receiving in the relationship. Which once I started doing that, I started realizing like I was actually happier. I was paying attention to the woman, right? And not living in the
Mm,
fantasy of women that I'm probably never gonna meet a day in my life, bro. Like that attention doesn't deserve to be there. It deserves to be with the woman that I'm with and the woman who I'm telling every day I want to spend the rest of my life with, right? Like that really
mm-hmm.
took like moments and I really had to like grow the hell up, man, and like transition out of that mindset. But I've noticed that that's how, man, like it seems like it's getting worse on social media, bro. Like every other
Yeah.
scroll, it's them like it's this selling of the perception of what your relationship needs to look like. Like what your sex life needs to look like. You need to be buying your girl $10,000 Birkins every day. She needs to, you need to pull up a G wagon in the yard. Social media has really, I
Mm-hmm.
feel like the younger men that are coming up, can't really focus on really discovering who they are because they're too busy trying to live up to the standards of the IG society. Oh, this is how people will
Mm.
think that I'm a good man because I'm buying my girl this every week. I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And man, I'm thankful that I'm in a place now where I can look at stuff like that and go, man, like I remember being there. And then realizing where I'm at now and understanding like man, like ego can really, really fuck your life up in ways that you can't comprehend until it's already fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get you. Yeah, but like the thing with the social media is like everyone's selling something, and then also
Facts.
a lot of that is just highlights, bro. Like when I scroll, I'm just looking and someone's selling this, selling that. Oh, this is what your relationship needs to look like. This is what your life needs to look like. This is what you need to do. And it's like we're all different. And like you gotta do what's best for you, what's best for your relationship, what's best for your family. And yeah, it's like nice to get some information and to see things and like to learn from people that went ahead or whatever. But it's like a lot of times these people are saying things and you don't even know the full context of why they're saying what they're saying or whatever. But you're like, oh well, they said this and I'm seeing a little bit of this in my relationship, so I gotta end this and I gotta do that and this isn't good for me. And it's like, no, you need to look within and like talk to your partner and like pay attention to what's going on with you and your like relationship and do the deep inner work.
Yeah, man. I feel like social media these days, man. I'm worried in the sense of like being very cautious also like of my boys, right? And like my daughter and making sure that the shit like we've seen, like what we've experienced online and seeing how that has changed relationships and what it's done to relationships and like even our own relationships, right? Like making sure that like I protect my kids from this is why like my oldest is preteen, bro, and it's like, fam, you are not getting online. Like that's not happening, right? And it's not the sense of not trusting him, but it's like there's so much online, bro. Like I had to ban my kids from like watching stuff on YouTube, fam. Just like the type of influence, like I don't want them to grow up and think like, especially don't want my daughter thinking like, dude's gotta treat you and talk to you this way for you to feel like you're loved, right? Like obviously I want my daughter to end up with somebody who's gonna see her for her and love her for who she is. And but then also like with my boys, like don't let somebody disrespect you, you know, like, but also understand like when you find the woman you want to be with, like, here's what, as your dad, bro, this is what I'm expecting of you. This is what I want to know you're doing. You're treating her this way. You're showing her this kind of respect. Like, bro, it's even as sense as like my daughter don't open up doors. When my son is here, my daughter don't touch doors. I look at her brother like, bro, get the door. You don't let your sister touch doors. That's a woman. She's a young girl, obviously growing into a woman, but this is like, that's me training him early. Like, bro, like, be respectful to these women, bro. Like, because what society's doing online, like, there's so much disrespect, especially towards like our black and brown women, bro. Like the type of disrespect that we're seeing towards them. It's like, as men, as black and brown men, like, bro, we gotta be better, bro. And it starts with the generations that we're raising and keeping those lessons going. Like this is how you treat people, especially when you're in your relationship, bro. And I know I vented off on that, but man, that was just some real shit that I was feeling.
Nah, man, chivalry's still alive, man. Like there's a lot of just misinformation and just bad information being spread to the young men. You know, a lot of dudes in our generation and generation before that are bitter that they never learned how to talk to women or women didn't like them because they're just assholes, to be honest. But it's like you gotta lead with respect, bro. Like it's honestly, bro, it's really simple, bro. It's like we're all people, we're all humans, like men, women, and it's like
Yeah.
listen to them, pay attention, like treat them how they want to be treated, and like vice versa. Like for women, they're men like a lot of men have a hard time expressing themselves, talking about their feelings and sharing what they need and stuff. But it's like for the most part, a lot of men are really simple. We just need like someone that's going to support us, someone that's going to listen to us, someone that we can really be ourselves with and like open up and be vulnerable. Because out here you gotta be tough, man. Like you can't be out here um just moving fugazi and stuff, dog. Like you gotta be on your stuff. You gotta take care of your family. Like you in the streets, you gotta be on your P's and Q's. Like, I mean, you know where I come from. Like I come from South Central. I come from Watts, so it's like I gotta move a different way. But it's like I've learned how to blend in like anywhere basically, and like college educated now, and just been in different areas. But it's like I still move with those type of attentions and stuff like that, where it's like I'm paying attention, I'm looking out. We gotta look out for cops, we gotta look out for this and that. So it's like, you gotta be able to handle your business, but at the same time, like you need to be able to have someone where you can let the guard down and be vulnerable with, and talk about what's going on and stuff like that. But yeah, we gotta teach these young men how to treat women. Like we've had to learn the hard way, bro. It's like we, went through a lot of stuff. We didn't really have no one to teach us how
Right,
it's supposed to go,
exactly.
how it's supposed to look. I didn't have like, I had a few examples to watch, but it's like even then, like I had to learn, and I've been learning, and I've been growing, and I do my therapy. I talk to my therapist, and I do my research, and like I'm still growing. And I'm like I'm never gonna be perfect. No one's perfect, but it's like you got to be willing to do that work, that emotional work, and just paying attention and like talking and not taking things personal and understanding people's boundaries and like what they need and how they want to be loved. And, it's like everyone's different, so if you saying you care about a girl or you want to be with this girl, like pay attention and listen to her and like how she wants to be loved and how she needs to be taken care of, and make sure that she's feeling safe and she can be vulnerable with you, and you're not going to like try to manipulate her and use things against her or be stepping out or doing any of this stuff that you're not supposed to be doing, man. Like
Yeah,
just do your job, bro, and like be a man of your word. If you're saying these things to her, be that. You feel me? And communicate and like listen to her. And if she's telling you something she don't like, listen. Don't take it personal. Like, oh, well, f that. Like, nah, bro. Like, listen to her. If you want to be with her, she's telling you, yo, I don't like this.
yeah,
Work on changing that, bro. And then vice versa. You should be able to be with someone that if you're saying, hey, I don't like this, she's like, okay, I understand. Like, that's the thing. Like, people need to start listening and not taking things personal. Like, hey, let's communicate, let's comprehend what's being said. That's what's missing, like communication and also the comprehension. Like this generation, our generation, and No Child Left Behind, comprehension's at an all-time low right now,
oh,
dog. Like
facts,
people
bro.
could see something and they be like, just not comprehending, not understanding, not having critical thinking skills, not knowing how to think for themselves. Like we gotta do better, man. Like as a society, we
Yeah,
gotta we
that's
gotta do
true.
better.
See, with me, my parents, and shout out to my parents. I'm gonna be seeing them here in another day or so. Um,
Shout out to the Kobe's.
yeah, my parents been married 43 years, bro. Truly, I
Damn, you like 43 too, ain't you?
41 for the record. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna get into that. See? All right, bro. um, nah, man,
I'm
like,
sorry.
nah, you
I'm
good, bro.
sorry.
I knew that was coming too. I walked right into it, man. Um, I've been fortunate, bro. Like, but growing up, I think I wasn't able to comprehend what I was actually witnessing, right? Like, knowing right now
Mm,
that, like, damn, it's been 43 years. Like, my parents been rocking with each other for 43 years, bro. And it didn't really hit me till I want to say after my divorce, bro. I think that's when it hit me. Like, was I really paying attention to the wrong shit? Like, growing up,
mm,
instead of continuing to watch my parents, I feel like I started watching my uncles more, right? And
yeah.
watching what like some of them were doing, some of my cousins, some of my older cousins, like
Mm-hmm.
watching what I was too busy
Mm-hmm.
caught up in what they were doing and maybe it was like
Mm-hmm.
the age gaps were not necessarily that far off. So I feel like I related more, coming up as a young man, thinking like, oh, that's how it's supposed to be first, like what they're doing, not realizing, man, these niggas is mid 30s and shit, like just out here in the streets, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and this is what I'm looking up to, man. And I don't think it hit me till,
Mm-hmm.
and not to say that like my uncles and cousins are like bad men. Obviously, they're great men, but
Yeah.
everybody's
Yeah.
path is different. And I think just for me, I was focusing on the wrong path. Like when I should have been really paying
Mm-hmm.
attention to like the blueprint of the foundation that my parents was laying. I was too busy worried about, the type of girls that my uncle was bringing around or like, the type of stuff he was showing us. Like, that's what I was
Mm-hmm.
focusing on, bro. And it didn't really hit me, as I said, till like after my divorce, man. Like, I was like, dang, man, like the thought of marriage for me was like, this is actually what I wanted. I wanted to be married, right? But there
Mm-hmm.
was a sense of the line between admiration and entitlement of like this life, this
Mm-hmm.
lifestyle, right? Wanting to feel like I'm entitled to do whatever I want and move however I want within the relationship. Um, you can admire a situation just as a man, like on some man shit, right? You can be like, man, like
Hmm.
bro doing his thing, like, bro got the girls, like you can admire that. But when you start feeling like just because you see something that you're entitled to it as well. You know what I'm saying? And then completely removing
Yeah.
yourself from the situation that you're involved in, not realizing like now you're just disrespecting everything that you've claimed to be as a man. You're disrespecting
Hmm.
everything that you've established in this relationship, in this life. And then you've got children who are literally looking at you as a role model, right? Like, and man, post divorce, bro, like I really buckled down. I remember like talking to y'all about that shit too, man. Like I like really tried to like seek like advice and change and counsel and like therapy and trying to figure out how to live better as a man within the relationships or the spaces that I was in because I started looking at my kids thinking, damn, I'm at the age of where my uncles were. How am I living? Am I passing good examples down of what love is or the perception of love? Or am I like pre-writing, a fate for them where they're going to end up in situations that really ain't love? It's the entitlement portion of what love is, not the admiration of it, right? So that really pushed
Hmm.
me into, man, like I really got to tighten up in just my behavior as a not just a man but a black man, bro. Like I really got to tighten up and just watch the behavior because just like how I was looking at my uncles when I really should have been looking at my parents, bro, like I have the opportunity to fix that, which I've always just as of late that's really like been the mission, just the lessons I'm allowing my children to see change in their
Yeah.
father, like that they can see that's tangible, right? Like my behavior, the type of people that I'm around, even with the type of relationship that I choose to get in, making sure that like they see it's not just me being with someone and it's just that, like
Hmm.
wanting them to see the communication, the sacrifice, the love, and one thing about my parents, which I've always loved, and I love telling this story about my parents, bro. Never seen my parents fight, bro. Never knew when they was really going through it because they never exposed us to it, bro. And I've thought about moments in my relationships where I've been in, and it's like I've done the opposite. It's like, dang, like, yeah, man, this
Hmm.
takes real concentration and really understanding. Like, man, like, just like how I saw that, I have the opportunity to like build that and show my kids that same path and and really watch my behavior as a black man, bro. Because even though I'm 41 and that's still a very young age, bro. Like, but when I'm 60, bro, 65, like I want my children to be able to look at me and see like wow, like can literally say like yeah, my parents ain't together but like that's a healthy co-parenting relationship. Oh, pops his wife,
Yeah.
like that's a good woman. Like I can see how my pops carries himself in that relationship. I can see how she is in that relationship. I can see the union and what they're building. Like that's what I want. That's love, right? And it starts with me, bro. Understanding, like, man, my behaviors, whether online or in real time in real life, bro, will have some type of effect on my kids.
Yeah. That's something that I like in the time I give with my daughter too. Like I try to make sure that she don't see me in that type of light or arguing with whoever my significant other would
Yeah.
be at the time. And like even like with the co-parenting situations, like when she comes here and she wants to say stuff about her mom, and I'm like, hey, like that's your mom. Like I understand you may not agree with the situation, but you're not gonna disrespect her. You're not gonna like you're not gonna do those type of things. I try to make sure she understand like respect, and yeah, it's okay to feel how you feel about the situation, but at the same time, it's like you need to know, like hey, like you can't be saying certain things and of that nature. Like there's a way you can go about the situation. So I try to teach her how to communicate effectively. Try to make sure she communicate her feelings. Like even when I talk to her, it's like I try to figure out, okay, what's going on? Why do you feel this way? And like just trying to teach her proper communication skills. So like when she has a problem, she could speak up about it and understand how to have a conversation. And, instead of just shutting down or just not saying anything at all and just letting things be. It's like, no, like there's a way to go about it. Like even with, like I said, if she's feeling a certain way towards me or her mom, it's like, all right, like calm down first, think about it, gather your thoughts, and then come back and have the conversation. Maybe let it like die down a little bit. Cause that's what I try to do. Cause in the past I would just blow up and just say whatever is on my mind. I mean, I could still do that at times, but I try to make sure that I'm gathering my thoughts and
Right.
removing the anger before I start speaking. But being an Aquarius and a little hot blooded at times, it's the tongue. We got a sharp tongue, man. Like you know my Instagram handle, Petty Pendergrass, dog. Like
Matt, come on, man.
I can get petty. I can go there, man. But I've tried to work a lot to be able to have a conversation and like give people a chance. Now, when it comes to my lifting and sports and competitive nature, yeah, I'm gonna still be petty. I'm gonna still be like I'm gonna talk my shit, But in day to day life, I try to learn how to communicate better, how to listen to the other side, see it from their point of view, try not to take things personal, um, and like be able to be like, okay, I understand how you feeling, I understand how my behavior came off, and then say what I have to say about what I was thinking about it or what my intentions were, but also not disrespecting the other person's feelings and how they feel about the situation. But yeah, it's just learning like even with love, bro, it's learning how to have compromise, learning how to have conversations, learning how to comprehend, learning to try to not take things personal. Like listen to what this person has to say to you. If you're saying you love this person, listen to them and listen to what they're saying about their feelings or how your behavior affected them. That's what's going on nowadays with these relationships. You try to talk to your partner, they want to take it all personal instead of listening to you, or they want to get mad about the tone if you haven't learned how to use your tone or whatnot, where it's like, hey, you're not even listening to what I said,
Right.
you're listening to like the tone I said, or you want to pick up like the last thing I said or whatever. But it's like I'm trying to communicate with you effectively so we can make this work, you get me? So I've learned that a lot over my relationships that I've had in the past. And I've learned a lot, man. And I feel like I'm open and ready for
See, I
love,
always say,
and we'll
don't
see what
listen to
happens.
me to have a response. Listen to me to hear me. And see, that's what I feel like I see. That's what I run into. And like with my lady
Hmm.
now, man, like, man, that woman's amazing, bro. Like, this relationship for her, I think is like her first like real deep one, like where she's learning so much about herself and like, man, just like watching her growth has been like just bro, it's been beautiful. Like I can't even lie. Just like watching her come into her own thoughts and her comprehension and not relying on others to make decisions for her. Her really kind of getting to truly how she feels. And it's like that's one of the kind of the things earlier on in the relationship where I was like, babe, like hear me, like listen to me to hear me. Don't listen to me to have a response. And when she finally started understanding that, bro, it was like it's not hard. It's you actually have to want that. And I think about in my other
Hmm.
relationships, like man, like some of those relationships I was listening just to have a response, and some of them were listening to
Hmm.
just to have a response, but not to hear the person, right? And I think that's where men and women, I
Hmm.
think that's ego too on both sides, right?
Hmm.
We feel, and you know what? Maybe it's just some Aquarian shit. Because I feel like sometimes we feel like we got all the answers, right?
Hmm.
And not to say that like we're
Yeah.
know-it-alls, right? But I do feel like Aquarians tend to
Kind of.
we tend to it's like I'm telling you this is it. This is the answer. It's right here, right? But I think that's where
We be right a lot
we
though.
do be right a lot, fam. I'm gonna give you that. We be right 98.9% of the time. I'm gonna leave that other little small
And when we were
percentage
wrong,
for
we could have been right. So we're still right.
where did I hear that from?
That was Get Rich or
Get
Die
Rich or Die
Trying.
Trying, right?
Terrence
Terrence
Howard.
Howard. Shout out to Terrence
Yeah.
Howard, man. That shit was funny. Yeah, bro,
Maine.
bro, it's the ego. It truly is an ego thing where I think just men and
Yeah.
women get into these spaces where, and maybe we feel like we learned so much in the last relationship, so we're trying to bring it into the new relationship, not realizing like we can't deal with the person we're with now like the person we dealt with in the past
Mm.
relationship, right? We got to focus on who
Yeah.
this person is now that we're with. What are their emotions? What do they perceive as disrespect? What do they perceive as
Mm.
love? Their love language. And I think that's where we get so misconstrued, is that we take our lessons into new relationships versus taking the lesson, self-assessing, and then stepping into the new relationship kind of anew. Like, these are the things I know I've
Mm.
learned and I've grown into. So now I'm gonna be this version in this relationship versus dragging the information into the relationship, which is where I think we sometimes go wrong, or we just go wrong by doing that, right? Instead of just seeing the person that we're with in real time and understanding, like, that's the person. I got to worry about you and how you feel and what you dislike, what you like. So when we're talking or we're having discourse, I'm listening to you to actually hear you, not to have a response because I fucking think I know it all because I've been through this shit before,
Yeah.
right? And that's
Yeah.
something like I really appreciate about, like, shout out to my lady, man. Man, she's just a beautiful woman, bro. And just like watching her grow into just like this even more amazing woman and seeing kind of where we started and where we are now. Like, she teaches me more than she knows, right? Like, I'm getting
Mm.
lessons in this relationship for the relationship. And I feel like that's not really something I feel like I've really experienced a lot, is being able to have lessons within the relationship while being in it and then practicing those lessons within the relationship and making it healthy versus, you know,
Yeah.
I know everything. It's either my way or this way, right? But I really feel like that's something men and women we really gotta hone back and just, we gotta get back to the respect factor, man, like respecting the person that we're
Mm-hmm.
with, right? And understanding that, man, toxic masculinity, and that can also go both ways because there's a lot of women who feel like they got to step into their toxic masculinity because of the type of men that they deal with, right? So I feel like that can go both
Mm.
ways, right? So I feel like that message is more so towards like the collective of men and women, right? But that's just my 2 cents on that, bro. But like, I'm really appreciative, like, just even just to myself, of like the space I've allowed myself to be vulnerable and sit and go, man, I have to learn something different. I gotta change certain thought processes because if I don't, then am I really serving a full purpose to my relationship? And not just to myself in the relationship, like, but to her, right? Because I've made those
Yeah.
mistakes in the past where I really realized after the relationship, I don't think I served a full purpose because I was too busy worried about picking and choosing the pieces that I felt were more
Mm.
important or valid for my ego, right? And then
Yeah.
understanding that, okay, I might have learned a lesson, but I can't drag that into this relationship. I got to sit with myself first, process it, heal, and then step into that relationship. And she says things like that to me now. She's just like, I feel like you're so far ahead of me. It's like, no, I don't even like you saying that. Like, no, because I'm still growing too. Like, in this moment, yeah, I might
Mm.
have, my advice might sound more sound than yours, but it doesn't make me better in the relationship because you're still teaching me things too. So getting even her to see, like, we you really are my equal. It's not that I'm better than you or you're
Mm.
better than me. You're genuinely my equal. And getting her to see that just through the actions of telling her that, like, yo, like, don't ever put me here because I'm still human at the end of the day. So I'm a fuck up just like everybody
Mm.
else. Just like how you feel you fuck up, I fuck up too. But it's how we choose to sit in that fuck up. And am I gonna take the fuck up and go, okay, I'm gonna make 10 excuses on why I ain't finna take accountability for it? Or I can come up with 10 reasons why that shit can't happen again. Because here's what I could lose. Here's what I'm at risk of losing if I allow myself to do it this way. Right. So teaching myself, like, man, being vulnerable is okay. And then venting to myself sometimes. It ain't even about venting to my girl
Mm.
or even here on the pod, bro. Like, sometimes I like to sit in spaces and vent to myself, bro. It's therapeutic for me, at least, to be able to
Mm-hmm.
sit sometimes and just talk that shit out with myself and hear myself. Cause I'm not like, bro, you sound crazy as fuck right now. And sometimes that's what it takes, bro. Hearing yourself say it. Cause you know how we work. Like we have that Aquarian like mindset where it's like, you might do some bullshit and you know I'm gonna support your bullshit because you the homie and we think the same, right? But
Mm-hmm.
you might sit with yourself and go, man, I mean, I know he got me, but like, sitting with yourself and hearing yourself say this shit out loud sometimes, it's like, oh yeah.
Now I do a lot of a self reflection. I have my congregation of friends. Like for me, it's like I don't really make a whole lot of friends. Like I'm cool and like I'm nice to people, but like I have my core group of people that have been around for over a decade now, 15, 17 years, and I'm not surrounded by like yes men. Like even with you, it's
Facts.
like we talk. You like if I'm wrong, I'm like yeah, bro, that wasn't right. So I have my friends that like if it is time for me to talk about something, they're gonna let me know like yeah, you tweaking, bro. And I'm like damn, I'm tweaking. But even then, like I'll come through and be like yo, am I tweaking? And then sometimes I'm tweaking. Yeah, a good amount of times I'll be tweaking, but then sometimes it's like, nah, bro, like you valid, you got a point, you know. And I have my
Yeah.
therapist, I have my adoptive mom, I have my older sister, so it's like I have a core group of people to where it's like they keep me grounded, and sometimes like yeah, I'm Aquarius, so sometimes I'm just gonna be like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna just do what I do anyways. But for the most part, it's like I've grown a lot, I've learned a lot, and like it's a never ending journey to growth and learning, bro. It's like even just learning how to navigate relationships, bro. It's like accountability is like crucial, and just like partnership, just accepting who you're with for who they are. Like if that's who you want to be with, like you gotta accept them for the good, the bad, the ugly, their faults, and like and that's something I learned and I
Right.
started to do. But at the same time, for me, it's just like I still need to feel seen in my relationships and heard and stuff like that. And I just got to that point in relationships where I was like, okay, I'm not feeling seen, I'm not feeling heard, I'm not feeling like we're communicating or clicking, and like this got to be it. Like I gotta move on,
Yeah.
But I feel like I've learned a lot, and I feel like okay, I know what it should look like. I know what it is. I've seen some amazing relationships, and I'm like, okay, I understand more now because I didn't understand at first. I thought it was like, oh, it's my way, or I am always right, or whatever the case is, and just having to learn to be like, hey, you may be right, but maybe let's just let it go and let's see what happens, and then you could say something, or maybe you don't say something, or just like learning how to navigate, learning how to work with someone else. And I think that I've been getting better at that. It's like, okay, like you got to know how to work with your partner as opposed to being like, yeah, I know everything. I'm always right. Like, just listen
Right.
to me and
Yeah.
it's going to be right, which I mean, it could be. I don't know. I'd be feeling myself a little bit, Aquarius. But, man, that's how
See,
it goes. But,
accountability and Aquarius, sometimes the shit don't mix. I don't know if that's just bro how we're designed. Like bro, I remember blaming being an Aquarius on how I got blocked. I was like, man, Mercury must be in retrograde or some shit, bro. Like just using any and every other excuse than holding myself accountable for the shit I chose to get online and say. But that's some Aquarius
yeah,
shit though. It is what it is.
nah, it really is. But it's like, because we analyze everything and like we overthink. And like with me, like I have ADHD. So it's like I'm always overthinking, I'm always analyzing, I'm always watching patterns. So it's like, I, it's just the way the brain works. I don't view things the way most people view things. I don't view love or relationships the way most people view things. I try to fit into societal norms, but I view things differently, I move a little differently, so it gets a little murky. But it's like I'm starting to understand more. Yeah, man, Aquarius shit, man, like, this shit's crazy. Mercury in the Gatorade or whatever they be saying.
Mercury and Gatorade, I'm weak, bro. Man, but man, this has been dope, bro. But yeah, man, before we get out of here, bro, how's your spirit, bro? I know I didn't really get a chance to tap in with you earlier in the episode. We usually try to bring that up in the beginning, but how's your spirit, man?
Spirit's been a little bit better, man. Like I got my squirrels that come through that I feed. My turtle's doing good. My dog Ghost, he's doing good. And then I just hit my last heavy deadlift today. So next
Congrats on
Saturday
that.
I
And
compete.
he
So
ain't
I'm
lying,
feeling
y'all. This
pretty
nigga
good.
got trained
Appreciate it.
squirrels on his balcony. I'm not lying to you. This nigga got trained squirrels that know when it's breakfast, lunch, and dinner
I'm
time.
pretty I'm pretty sure they finished their apples. I'm gonna have to go check on them. But how's your spirit, brother?
Man, bro, it's man, I've been in a really emotional kind of quiet space, man. You know, the family
Hmm.
lost the matriarch of the family, bro, and my granny, bro, like, yeah, she's gone, bro. Like, oh no, man. This is it's weird, fam. That's really all I can tell you is it's weird. I've had some time to like sit in the space and really
Yeah.
process everything, man, and it's shit still don't feel real, man. Like my mom's is going through it, bro, and
Hmm.
her understanding like what's being like I was having this conversation with her yesterday and man, I've been really like checking in on my lady, bro. Like my mom
Yeah.
is my sweetheart, bro. Like, man, I've never been more proud to just one be her son, right? Like knowing how she raised us, and, we had that conversation too, but she was more so shocked at like just how beautiful our conversation was because me and my mom talk a lot, right? Like let's put death aside,
Hmm.
right? Like me and my mom talk a lot, but we've never the conversation we had yesterday was really different. Like
Yeah.
I had to really be there for her. And when somebody's fishing for, it's not that they're fishing for advice. You can tell
Hmm.
they're specifically in this moment right now because they need some type of comfort, right? And I was
Yeah.
telling her about, her siblings telling her like you are the matriarch now. Like this is everything that the family does on this side moving forward is in your hands. And I had to explain to her, the I don't want to use the word curse, but like the preparation of like
Hmm.
the oldest child, right? And sometimes it's not the oldest child, but in most cases it's the oldest child that you're really being prepped your entire life. If you're a woman, right? If you're
Hmm.
the oldest daughter, and you've got siblings under you, your entire life, even into your adulthood, is being prepped to step in and fill your mother's shoes. Like you are inheriting, you are living to inherit the most unfortunate title, that no one wants to carry for those reasons, right? We look at that word matriarch and it's such a beautiful word because we know what it means, right? But when you strip it down, it's such a, you know, unfortunate title to carry because you only inherit that title through death. It's a torch being passed, and now you're responsible for a lot of different things, even while knowing you yourself are not mentally prepared for it. You're still trying to
Hmm.
process death. You're still trying to process your own emotions. But in that same space, you have to be there for five, six other siblings and make sure that they're strong. And like I told her, I'm the baby of all of her children, and like I told her, my job now, you know, my biggest job right now is just to show up and be the son that I know that you need right now, right now. Because my
Hmm.
grandmother, bro, like I'll even take it back as far as like my grandfather. My mother's dad was, man, like he existed in a space words can't describe. Like who my grandfather was to our family. You can't create words, bro, that can describe that type of man. This is the man I got all my emotional, you know, moments from because, my pop didn't have that growing up. He didn't have his dad growing up. His dad died when he was really, really young, like 4. So for him, he grew up around all his sisters and his mom, so it was easier for him to get emotional and connect with his daughters. It was more challenging for his boys because he didn't have somebody to give him those skills, right? But my grandfather was the man who delivered that. I got the hugs and the kisses from
Hmm.
him. So losing him was like losing a second dad, man. But how I look at it is like my grandfather was the glue, right? He was literally the glue that kept the family together and tight. If he was the glue, my grandmother was the bottle. And like I told my mom, you are now the bottle, and now we need to fill your bottle with glue. And right now that means us as a collective, as a family, banding together to make sure that this bottle doesn't go to waste. Because now it's you, you know. But we, just like you got to be strong for us, we got to be strong for you and be your glue. Because once we fill this bottle, you know, this bottle now, you become not just the bottle, you're the bottle and the glue until that's
Mm.
unfortunately passed off to someone else. You know what I'm saying? My sister, you know, but, or a cousin or an auntie, like whoever, but it unfortunately eventually gets passed off, right? But thinking about my grandmother's
Yeah.
life, bro, like I get emotional because that I'd never been around somebody so funny, bro. Like naturally funny. And I'm gonna tell you something, bro. Like, because the shit came in my phone today.
Until you met me.
That facts. Let me tell you something, bro. Let me tell you how funny this shit is, bro. My grandmother was a habitual gambler, like habitual.
Mm.
This woman would move into the casino if she could. Tell me why they sent the flyer. They made a flyer for her visitation service. Tell me why
Mm.
is her on the flyer and behind her is fucking the what's the machines called? The fucking sevens.
Slots.
Tell me why they got slots behind her, bro. Like like she up there betting seven in heaven, bro. I'm looking at this like only our family would get that. Like only our family. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna post it on my Instagram too, bro, just so y'all can see it,
Yeah.
man. Like, and if you're listening to this pod, you'll probably end up seeing it tomorrow. But that's how funny she was, bro. Like that's how deeply like she was. Like we knew the only way to send her away
Mm.
was like a casino style funeral. Who the fuck, bro? Who does that? But that's my grandmother, bro. Like she was the funniest woman I feel like I knew besides my mom, bro. She
Yeah.
was loving, caring, didn't take shit from nobody, nobody, and talked her shit, talked it all day. But when it came to family, bro, when it came to family, my grandmother did not budge. Don't nobody mess with this family. I don't care if we going at it with each other. We family. We can do that. But ain't nobody from the outside finna come in and cause no problems with this family. My grandmother was, man, she was that lady, bro. I'm gonna miss her like crazy, bro. Like I said, I've been processing this shit for a minute, you
Yeah.
know, and it's fresh, obviously, you know. But when I'll be at peace with it. Because I feel like I'm still not even at peace with my grandfather, bro, because he passed in 97. And
Mm.
I still feel like it's moments in my life where it's like, fuck, I wish he was here. Advice from him right now would hit and it means something, right? So I don't know, man. I've been crying on and off, just dealing with my emotions, bro, and trying to be there, obviously, for my mom, giving her the advice and letting her know, you know, it's gonna be okay. We're gonna all be okay, you know, and I can't wait to get there so I can just wrap my arms around her. Just let her know that, you know, I'm here. You got your other children here, your husband's here. We're all here, you know. And I don't know if I'm mentally prepared to look at my grandmother tomorrow at the visitation, you know,
Mm.
going into that little room and looking in that looking in that casket and because it really hit me yesterday too. Just man, when you got too much time to think, bro, that's when it really gets you. When you ain't talking with nobody,
Yeah.
you ain't watching nothing, you ain't working on a project, you just sitting around and your thoughts is just like, yeah, man, here it is. It's real, you know. I've been looking at pictures from being a kid. Just she's been the most consistent face besides my parents, the most consistent
Yeah.
voice in my life, you know, and she always told me like, man, every time I talked to her on the phone, you know, and I got to see her, you know, earlier this year, and I always believe like God sets things up in a way because He already knows what's down the line. I really got to spend some time with her earlier this year, and that I'm gonna cherish that trip, man. I'm gonna really cherish that trip because I got to see her, like the real her. Like she should have been resting, right? Because she was dealing with, issues with her, with her arteries, or her, sorry, aorta. Um, but she was,
Mm.
bro, still getting up, texting her friends, getting picked up to go to the fucking casino. No, bro, like still being just, I got to see her be my grandmother, like just the woman that I know. You should be laying in bed resting, and here you is getting dressed to go sit at the slots. Like she lived her life to the fullest, literally to the end, bro. And it hurts to know, and I don't want to get too much deeper into it, but it hurts to know, to have received the call that I received from another relative. This is after the phone call about her passing, like getting that call from my mom, like she's gone. You know, like an hour or two later, I got a call from another relative, and he's telling me about the events of the day leading up to her passing later that night, and what might things that may have been her final view, like things that, like the last bits of things that she saw with family happening before she transitioned. And I've been trying to really not get too rageful about that shit because it's like these are grown ass people. And I'm one of those people, like I'm at a point in my life, like if you own some stupid shit, especially like that, like when I see you, you gon' know I'm not rocking with you because she shouldn't have had to see that. She shouldn't have had to deal with that. Knowing what she was already going through, and then this is the shit that y'all want to put her through. The nerve, bruh. So rest in peace, Carrie Lee Myers. Like, I love you. I truly, truly, truly love you. It was an honor being your grandson. It was an honor being in your presence. It was an honor to share memories with you. It was an honor to be around your comedy. It was an honor to just be in your grace. You are one, literally a one of one. And I know you and Papa are up there. I know he was waiting on you. And I know that's who came and got you and took you over. I'm so thankful that you guys are together again. I know the hereafter, we don't really know what's over there when we go, but I sleep in peace now, kind of just with the thoughts of they're together. That allows me to close my eyes and actually get rest, to know that they're together and that everything she was experiencing in these past few months, it didn't last too long, and now she can rest. And it's a lot of my mom got a lot of it's a lot of shit my mom has on her plate right now, man. So really right now it's about just showing up for her and just being the son I know she needs right now, man. So but rest in peace, Carrie Myers. We love you.
Rest in peace. Condolences to you and your family, brother. Um, and to all the men out there, it is June is Men's Mental Health Month. Reach out to your friends, your cousins, your dads, your uncles, your grandpas, and just check in on them. Just make sure they're okay. I know a lot of us be like, "Oh, I'm fine, I'm good," but you never know what's going on. You never know if they need someone to talk to, or if you need someone to talk to. So make sure that you reach out to someone. Make sure that you're
Facts.
not just bottling things up. You're not holding it in. We need to be here for each other. We need to talk to each other. And, it gets heavy. Like I said, episode one, things get heavy, things get tough. You're a lot expected of you as a man. You got a lot that you got to handle. You're supposed to be tough and this and that, but you need to talk. You need to be there for each other. Um, and yeah, like check on your people, check on your strong friends, check on the patriarchs of the family, and just make sure everybody's good. Like even if they're saying they're good, they may not be good. And, we're all dealing with stuff every day. So please check in, talk to someone, and just get it out, man. Like, don't think you need to suffer alone. We're well past that stuff. You can still be a man. That it makes you more of a man if you are talking, if you are being vulnerable, if you are not holding everything in. You can show up better in life and for your family, for work, whatever you need to do. You could show up better if you are better, you know. So hey,
Black men,
that's my
don't
two
forget
cent,
to
bro.
vent.
It's
You
another
can vent.
episode.
It's okay. You can vent. We are entitled to it, especially this month, man. If you got people in your circle, like Jay said, lean on your people, man. And if you are one of those people who know you got somebody who's going through something, reach out to them, man. Give them a safe space to vent. We are better together. And black men as a whole, we got to get into a space where we look at each other and it ain't about what set you from or this or that. We need to get to a space where we can look at each other and go, how is your day, brother? How are you? How's the world treating you today? Everybody else can live in that space, but somehow they make us feel like as black men, we can't. We have every bit of reason and right to break that curse. So, black men, please don't forget to vent. You have been listening to Black Men Don't Vent. New episodes every week, obviously. Hit the follow button, share the pod. And remember this, if you're out there getting blocked, maybe it's the algorithm or maybe it's you. And this was not sponsored by OnlyFans. Jay has been real, bro. I had to throw that in there at the end.
It's been
OnlyFans did not
real.
sponsor this
Hey
episode.
man,
I appreciate you, brother.
might get sponsored.
Might.
Hey,
You
but
never know. Never say
subscribe
never.
to my only lifts. No, I'm just kidding.
Only lifts is wild,
I
bro.
appreciate you too, brother.
But I thank you for being being there because you, I mean, that night everything happened, bro. You know, I reached out and you've made it your duty to check on me daily, and you've sensed when I've been in a darker space, and you still found ways to let me know, like, I know you going through it, but I'm here,
Hmm.
but you didn't press too hard or not enough. It was just enough, bro. So just again, from homie to homie, brother to brother, bro, like, I love you, bro. I appreciate you always. Like, you're like one of the closest. You're the closest thing to a brother than my brothers, bro. So I always appreciate you, man.
Hey, I love you too, brother. I appreciate you as well, man. Like you're here for me too, and that's what it is. Like for the people that I take in and I let in closer and I let my walls down with. Like I love you guys like family, and I'm here for you. I've been through a lot in my life. I've dealt with a lot, and I can sense when things are going a certain way for people or what I kind of feel the energy. I guess I'm like an empath or whatnot, but it's
Said
like
Aquarius
I
shit.
know what's going on. So yeah, so I try to reach out. I try to, I don't want to be overbearing or push too much, but it's like, I want to be like, hey, I'm here. If you need me, I just want you to know someone's thinking about you. Someone's here for you. And, like just, feel what you got to feel, go through it, and like you got a support system, you got people here for you, man. But yeah, man, so it's another episode of Black Man Don't Vent, and
Till
we'll see
next
you
time,
guys
y'all.
next time.
Have a good one. Be safe. Black men again. Don't forget to vent. Peace.
Peace.